everyone, I am back with another video. Today I will be doing a fall set with some acrylics. Well, one of the acrylics that I have gotten from the House of Supplies. If you don't know them, they're very, very familiar on Instagram. And I will be sure to leave their page link down below. Okay, so right now I just did a swatch of all the colors. I am going to be using the yellow color, which is C3, and on this finger I am doing it in real time, just so that those that are beginners, they can see exactly what I'm doing. I know a lot of times that beginners want you to try to go slower so they can try to catch on to the application, which that, I understand. When I first started out, I had to go slow as well. We all do. So yeah, if you see that I'm constantly wiping the sides, making sure that it's nice and clean and crisp, and making sure I get that acrylic from underneath the nail, because that's important that you get that from underneath there, okay? And as you can see, I'm steady wiping, and see, it's a lot easier when you have stilettos and you have acrylic like that. It's a lot easier for it to go under the nail. So that's why you have to constantly wipe. Make sure you wipe. So right here, you see me feathering out the acrylic, because when you're doing an ombre, you don't want it to be too thick there. Otherwise, it will be too bulky and it will not look good, guys, okay? So I'm doing the same thing on the ring finger, just taking that acrylic, and I'm waiting, for it to kind of settle on the nail, and I'm bringing it down gently, tapping in light motion. I'm not dragging it all the way down where I will pull the product off the nail. And once again, I am feathering in the apex area just to make that part thin for the ombre. Okay, so the brush that I'm using is a size 14 by Nail House. And the monomer that I'm using today is from JC Beauty Concepts. They have pretty good monomer. So now when I go in to do the ombre, I'm using this, I believe it's First Nude from Not Polish. And I'm taking it and I'm placing it just a little bit above where I placed, where I was feathering the acrylic out at, is where I'm placing it. And you want to be sure that when you're doing this, that you're blending it very well, but you're not bringing the acrylic down too far where it's going to cover the color that's at the bottom, if that makes sense. You see how I'm pulling it down very lightly, light strokes, to make it blend just perfectly. I'm not doing it too hard. I'm doing it really, really gentle. And when you do ombre, that's what you kind of want to do. You don't want to have too big of a beads or none of that. But you want to also make sure that you bring it down a little further to cover where you stopped at with the first color, okay? So that's very important, especially when you're working with darker colors. It is very, very easy for that bottom color to show through, especially if you have a nude on top. So you really, really have to know how to work with the ombre. You really got to know and have it down packed. And the trick that I showed you was feathering out the acrylic. You have to feather out the acrylic, otherwise it will not look right, okay? So here I am, I'm doing it on the ring finger. And at this point, I have sped the video up because at this point, I don't want to waste too much time with this video. I don't want you guys to get bored. So I want you to be able to see everything in the video without having to click off the video and say, oh, she's so boring. You know, I want you guys to be able to really, really see how I do this. Okay. So yeah, I placed that last bead up by the cuticle or right below the cuticle because you don't want to place it up too far. And all you guys know, or if you don't know, a lot of times nail products will self-level itself. So when you have acrylic, you really, really don't have to put it right up at the cuticle. You just place it a little inch away from not even an inch, but like a little teeny weeny pinch away from the cuticle, and it will flow back by itself, if that makes sense. So yeah, now I'm going in on the ring finger, or the middle finger, I'm sorry. I'm going in on the ring finger, and this color here that I have was actually a custom color that I made. I had mixed, it was an orange that I had from Glam and Glitz. And then the red that's mixed in it was actually a acrylic powder that was supposed to be mine personally. So yeah, I have looked into trying to have my own acrylic powders and own gel polishes. I have looked into that. It's coming soon. I'm not going to say real soon, because I'm the type of person that I want to test out products before I just actually get them and put them out there. So I want to make sure that the products are very pigmented, and like I want to make sure the acrylics are very consistent and they're buttery and they're easy to work with. Okay, I don't want any chalky products. I don't want any gel polishes that, you know, are not opaque, or, you know, they're just not good quality. So I don't want that. Okay. But to get back on topic here, so I did place some glitter down there, and now I'm going in with some more glitter to blend it in on top. And then I went in with some leaves there just to kind of spread them out over top of the glitter. Okay, just to give it that fall vibe. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just kind of came up with some things off the top of my head. So yeah, this is not my best fall set because I really did not know what I wanted to do. I kind of had like what they would call a brain fart, you know, but I just did this for the purpose of the application, you know, just to let you see what it's like to do ombre, especially. Okay. So with the middle finger, I am going in with the clear from Not Polish to go ahead and cap everything off. And the reason you want to cap everything in clear, because when you go to file with the e-file, you don't want to bring that product back off. You'll be wasting your time if you don't cap it correctly and you go to filing with the e-file and that product comes back off. You'll be like, man, I wasted my time. So you don't want to do that. Okay, guys? So yeah. And sometimes you may have to take acrylic, and as you see right there, I had to take acrylic and let it sit and kind of like build that side up because it was a little crooked, like it was like a little dip right there. And you know, the whole point of you doing acrylic applications is you want to make sure that in the end you're saving yourself less foul time. Okay, you don't want to have to foul so much that you're hurting your wrist. It's not worth it at all. So you always want to make sure that your application is very smooth. Okay, and it can be very smooth by you taking your time. I know there are some acrylics that dry a little faster, but you may have to find the ones that work best for you as a beginner. Okay. Okay. So on the pinky, I took some clear acrylic again, and I put that as the base. And then I went in with the red and the yellow and kind of made it like a marbling. Okay. So keep that in mind. If you ever want to do any marbling, always go with a clear base first, and that will help it marble a little better. Unless you have like something else, some other technique that you can use to make it marble better. But if you don't, clear acrylic is always a better option as well. Okay. So I'm just really going in and making sure that I even out the marble over the nail, and you want to make that as thin as possible. Okay. So now on the pointer finger and the ring finger, I'm going to go in and cap that as well. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but before I go in and I cap it with the clear, I take monomer and I take the monomer and I spread it on the nail first and then go in with the clear. And the reason why I do that is because when it dries up, you want to be able to put that you want to be able to put that acrylic on there to cap. You want to make sure you don't have any air bubbles, okay? So that was the reason, if you saw me do that, that was the reason why I did it, okay? So after this application, I am going to let it dry, and then I will be going in with my 5-in-1 sanding band from Pana that I got off Amazon, okay? And I will be sure to leave all of that link down below. And after I do that, I'm just going around the cuticle area. That's all. So after that, I will go in and I will file with a 100 grit hand file. And yeah, so I will go ahead and let you guys watch this. And I also want to say to you guys that I thank you so much for your support. I thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. If you are new, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you will go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on those post notifications to keep the videos coming back to back. So now I'm going to go in with this buffer from Kiara Sky. I absolutely love them. They really are easy to handle. Sometimes buffers are not really that good to handle with your hand and they kind of like slip out of your hand. But this buffer is really good for allowing you to have a grip on it when you're trying to buff, okay? So yeah, I'm going in smoothing out all the surfaces of the nail for the purpose of for nail art. So I did flip the hand around to the client's perspective just to make sure I did not favor one side when I was filing, okay? So now I'm going in with some Young Nail Swipe and this nylon brush, and I'm removing that debris off the nails. And for the nail art, I'm just doing like sort of like a border around the nail. I think that to me that brought the nail out a little more because I didn't want it to be just so plain Jane, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna do that on all the nails, and then I'm gonna go in with some bling, and I'm gonna be using Zule's nail glue. Absolutely love her nail glue. A lot of people complain about it, but like I said before in my previous video, she tells you what to do and how to use it. You just really have to follow the instructions, or either go on her channel or on her live when she's live and listen to, you know, what you have to do with it, or even ask her a question. You know, she's always there to answer your question, okay? So yeah, after I get done painting the border of these nails, then I will go in with the bling, and then I'll go in with a top coat from Not Polished to gloss it, and it's going to be so pretty in the end. Yes, so I do want to mention that I did go in with the top coat first, and then I went in with the bling adhesive, just because it's a lot easier to do it that way. So therefore, in the end, when the bling is done, you won't have to try to go and squeeze around the rhinestones and end up getting some of that top coat on the rhinestones. Because I do want to let you know, if you do get the top coat on the rhinestones, it will fade them. They will not have a shine to it no more, and it defeats the purpose of you putting it on the nail. Like, it will not look pretty at all. So I want you guys to keep that in mind whenever you're putting bling on the nails. A way that you can avoid it is you can do it by putting the top coat on first. Now, if you have Zule's bling adhesive, you never have to worry about the stones moving at all. Her bling adhesive is so good that even with the top coat with a a layer on it that will make the rhinestone slide. With her bling adhesive, it will not slide, you guys, okay? Unless the stone is like really, really heavy and big, but it may not do it with that. You know, you can always go in with a glue activator to kind of like make it be still until you're able to put it under the lamp and cure it, okay? And yes, I did forget to mention, when you're doing any nail art, make sure that you do it one at a time and cure in between so it does not bleed into each other. You don't want the colors to bleed into each other. Okay, so you do go ahead and cure it under the light for 60 seconds. At the end, when you're done with everything, I always try to cure everything for roughly about 120 seconds, which will be 60 seconds each. You guys, I'm a little tired. I'm sorry. It's kind of late. I always do my videos late because everybody is sleeping and I don't have to worry about interruptions. So I am also tired myself, and I do apologize. But yes, so you always want to make sure that you're really, really careful when it comes to applying those rhinestones. So on that pinky finger, you will see me put the adhesive all the way across. But then I thought about it and I'm like, no, let me only put one rhinestone on each nail. So in the end, I do go in and wipe the sides, and this is the end of the video here. So let me know, guys, what you think about the final look, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.